There's a guitar soloing concept that's easy to master, easy to implement, and it sounds great when executed well, but I don't see many guitar students learning it, which is crazy because it's a major breakthrough in creating solos that sound awesome. So in today's video, I'm going to show you, through a piece of music, how to play a solo without memorizing scales, how to easily play over chord changes without getting overwhelmed by music theory, and how to sound more professional and less bad. Now don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of scales, especially the pentatonic scale. I use it all the time, but when it becomes your only device, you'll end up becoming extremely limited. I mean, you can only visualize a scale on the fretboard. It's hard to see the notes that are really going to sound great over particular chords. That's why in today's piece, I'm going to be sharing with you something that I've been talking a lot about with my private students, and that's how to use arpeggios with just a sprinkling of scales. So let's get into it. So we're going to start off with 4 chords, and then we're going to break in to a guitar solo, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that without thinking too much about it, without using scales. So the chords we're going to be using today is going to be a G, a D, an E minor, and a C. And then we're going to break in to a little guitar solo, and we're going to do that not by using scales, but by using this, which is an arpeggio of the G chord using the C shape, which might sound complicated, but all we're doing here, right, you just find the root, or in this case we're playing G, we want to find the G note on the A string, and then visualize the C shape like this, okay? And we can visualize that shape, which is in the diagram there, alright, and we can play it individually, 10, 9, 7, 8, 7, 10, alright, just the added note here. That's all GBD, which is the 3 notes in a G chord, okay? So I can easily target the notes that are in the G chord by visualizing that shape. Doesn't sound very musical like that, I'll give you that, but we're definitely going to get there, so just keep with us, okay? So that's the G chord. Now, what we're going to then do is add in a little sprinkle of scales by adding in just this one note here, right? We get 10, 9, 7, 8, 7, 8. Just adding in that little note just adds a little bit of something. See, just made that up right there. Really cool, right? Okay, so we want to practice that. I can play that from my G chord, right, and create some little melody. Right, and then I can use the same visual tool for a D. All right, I can find my D there on the A string. So obviously I've got the D chord there, and then I've got the C shape here. See how it's all combined? Alright. Okay, so there's the G and the D taken care of. I can target those notes and it's going to sound pretty cool because I'm playing over the chords. I just need to be a little bit more musical with them, which I'll get to in a second. Because I now want to touch on the next chord, which is the E minor. And that might look like a crazy diagram, but all you need to do is visualize the root this time on the B string. So this time we've got the E note on the 3rd fret of the B, okay? And then I want you to visualize the D minor shape, okay? So we've got 3, 5, 4, like that. And then we get this other note here, alright, so we'd go 3, 5, 4, 5. And we're not going to go up to 7 here, we're not going to use that for this piece. I just want you to be able to see where it is, alright. So 3, 5, 4, and then 5. And I want you to just be aware of this little shape here, right? We've got the D minor shape here, and also in that arpeggio, we've got 5, 4, 5. Would you ever think of playing an E minor like this? Probably not, right? But it is, and we're going to come back to that in a second. So far we've got this, G, we've got a D, an E minor, oh, okay, and then right here, I've got a C chord, right, if I use the A shape. And this is where I'm going to throw in another sprinkle, right? Rather than arpeggiating this, I'm then going to just think about what scale I have here. I've got the pentatonic scale, and I'm going to come up with this little run, right? I'm going to go 9, strum it first, 9 up to 7, 8, 10, 8, 10, 12, 15. But I can also hit this 14 here out of the major scale here. Alright, so again, I've got this C, 7, 9, 8, 10, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So once you've built up the muscle memory goodness, you can connect the dots, you can visualise the arpeggios, alright? You can add that with the scales and then the triads and everything else that you learn. Then you've got so much more stuff in your tool belt. Now the next thing you want to add into all that is some musicality. Experiment with phrasing, different rhythmic feels, dynamics, softer, some vibrato and things like that. And you can come up with something that sounds simple but pretty nice. And there you have it, guys. Practice makes perfect. Now what I've done for you, actually, this combined really well with last week's lesson because it's the same chords, but we're trying some different stuff using triads, and they both combine together to make a cool musical piece. So I'll leave that lesson here, and I'll show you a little demonstration at the end. But that's it, guys. Thanks very much for joining me. As always, if you do want to connect the dots and you want to work with me privately, you can check out my 90-day Guitar Accelerator program. Either way, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.